welcome to this week's Creation Lab. I'm Rachel at the Washougal Community Library, and we are going to make guacamole. So first, you will want to make sure that you have your parent or adult's permission and help with this project. There are some tools that we'll be using that you might need help with, and also you might need to get the ingredients, and your parents would probably help with that. First things before you start cooking or handling food that you're going to be eating is to wash your hands. Now, I've already washed my hands, so I won't show you that, but please make sure you've washed your hands and that you have a sanitary area to work with. Next thing, you want to wash your food. Again, we have already washed our avocados and our limes. We have cilantro, we have onion. They've all been cleaned and they are ready for us to start chopping and making our guacamole. If you are curious about other cultures, what kids' life is like in, say, Mexico, where guacamole is a food, you can go to CultureGrams. That is a resource on our website, and you can learn about foods, cultures, what it's like to be a kid in Colombia or Mexico, anywhere in the world. There's lots of great information there for you, so please check it out. And without further ado, let's get started. So first, you have an avocado, which is the main ingredient of guacamole. Now, avocados have a hard skin. We are using a butter knife. Again, this is for safety. If you have a parent helping you, they might want to use a sharp knife, but you will need help with that. We are using a butter knife. So you are going to push firmly into the skin and all the way through. And the flesh of the avocado is green. So you know that you've gotten all the way through when you can see that green flesh. Okay, now there is a large seed in your avocado. You need to remove that. This is the pit. So we're going to use a spoon, and you're just going to dig down and pop it out, and the whole little avocado seed comes out. Next, you can still use your spoon. Take your bowl, and just use your spoon and scoop the avocado meat or flesh out. And I just kind of circle. I hold the avocado in one hand, and I just circle the skin with the spoon and it all pops out. Okay. Now if there's any parts that you don't like, I see a little green part and a part of the stem, I just take it out. Okay. So that's how you do your avocado, and you'll do both. You might need to do you'll do both sides, and you might need to do probably at least 2 avocados depending on the size. We have smaller avocados, so we're going to use 4 today. So we'll just keep going. We'll get our avocado out. We'll put it in the bowl, just like that. Okay. And then put your skins off to the side. The next thing that you can do is take some scissors or kitchen shears. These are kitchen shears. Again, they're sharp, so be careful. You always hold your scissors with the blade down. We're going to take some green onion, and you can just snip, snip, snip little pieces and put them into your bowl. I'm going to cut them here on the board so you can see approximately they are about 1/8 of an inch thick. They're pretty small. Okay, and you want to keep your fingers back so that it's safe while you're cutting, and you're just going to cut up your green onions just like that and then put them in the bowl. Same with your cilantro. Okay, so we've already washed and taken the stems off of most of the cilantro, and then you can take a bunch of it and just start snipping. Okay, you just want little pieces of cilantro to mix in, and again, keep your fingers back on the hand holding your food so that you don't cut yourself. And that is how we prepare the ingredients for our cilantro, or our guacamole, sorry. We were cutting cilantro. We have everything chopped and ready to go. So I want to talk about the lime. It's important that when you're making guacamole that you use citrus. You can use lime or lemon. We prefer lime. So this is a half, and have your parent or adult help you cut the lime in half. And when you cut a half, some of you already know, you get quarters, and we're going to use 1/4 of a lime. So our avocado is in our bowl. Just take the lime and squeeze it all over your avocado. And the citrus is part of what is the juice in the lime, and that adds flavor, but it also keeps your avocado from turning brown. So as the air touches avocado, just like when you cut an apple and you've seen it turn brown, that is oxidation, and that is when the air gets to it and it makes it turn brown. Okay? And I have a napkin here for any messiness. And we are going to add, remember we were chopping our cilantro? Here goes our cilantro. So toss it in there. And we also had our green onion, and we're going to toss that in there. And then we're going to use a fork, and you're just going to mash everything together. This is the fun part. Getting it all broken up and mushy. And you're going to, if your avocado's kind of firm, you're going to have to mush a little harder. So it should be pretty soft. And you just mush it, and squeeze it all together, and you want to make sure it gets really mixed up. Now some people might like their avocado a little chunky, and different recipes they might add tomato or other things to it. That's absolutely fine. You can experiment and find out what you like and what tastes good. And while we're talking about different recipes and what you can do, you'll see these books over here to my right. Those are recipe books. And the library has a lot of recipe books that you can check out. So Kids Chef Junior, the Junior Cookbook. If this is fun and you're interested in making other food or baking, you should check out a cookbook. And again, you will want your adult or parent help with a lot of these things. But it's also fun to get you started. Kids can make a lot of stuff on their own. So we have our guacamole mixed up, and then we're going to add just a couple spices. So one of the things we're going to add is cumin. Okay, and not all spice jars, see this one is open, so you don't want to just pour it in there, you'll get too much. So we're going to use our measuring spoon, and I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon. Scoop it in, and what you want to do is just use the side, or you can use the flat of a knife and level your spices off. And that's how you get accurate measurements. And just sprinkle it on, just like that. And then you can take your fork, make sure you mix it in there really well. You want your spices to be really mixed up. Okay. And the other spice that we're going to add is just a little bit of salt. So I'm sure you've seen salt and pepper. Everybody usually likes a little salt, like a salty potato chip. So we're going to add a little salt to our guacamole. Okay. And for this, I'm just going to sprinkle. There's a couple techniques you can use. You can just sprinkle it. You could use a measuring spoon again. You could also, because our hands are washed and clean, you could put a little in your hand, which is what I'm going to do. That way I can see how much I'm using. And you can see it's not very much at all. And then I'm just going to sprinkle it in. Okay, that's like a dash of salt. And then I mix it all up. Okay. And then your guacamole is pretty much ready to eat. We have some potato chips, or I'm sorry, corn chips that we're going to try it with. These are blue corn chips. Thank you. Miss Dina just passed me the corn chips. And when you're ready, you can take a chip. Usually, if you are sharing this, you want to scoop some out onto your own plate and eat from your own plate. So since this is only going to be mine, I will scoop from the bowl, but when you're sharing, make sure that you take your own serving. Then I'm going to take the chip and dip it in. That's pretty good guacamole. So have fun. Thanks, everyone.